Good morning. Good morning. Woohoo! Welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show, radio to open the heart, heal the soul, awaken the consciousness. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Benny.
Happy New
Benny.
Year. New you, new us, new everything. Let's do this. Alive in 2025. That's what I'm feeling.
Alive in 2025. Yes.
Okay.
Right. Do you have those shirts available?
What? Excuse me?
Alive in 25.
Oh, well, yeah, but I thought you said something else. I'm like, what?
Oh, no, shirts.
Oh, shirts. Oh. Okay. We got to bring that one back. I'm like, I don't know if we'll start the right foot off in the new year with whatever else I thought you were going to say, but okay. We'll go with
I don't know.
I know we don't.
I don't know about you, but I just felt like I couldn't open the door fast enough for 2024. Like,
right?
Goodbye to thank you,
yeah,
or not.
Well, I'll still get with our financial department on those T-shirts because our budget's a little bit slimmer than it was the previous year. But I can work on it. We'll work on it.
Yeah. So how was Christmas? How was the New Year?
Everything was great for me and the fam. We kind of took it easy. Well, the Christmas was kind of a all around. We just finished my family yesterday, as a matter of fact, because we just schedules and it was a 2-week process, so to speak. But that's okay. You know, family's local. It's just trying to get everyone in one spot, you know?
Yeah.
And then the New Year, we just took in both New York and Seattle time zones. And then like maybe 15 minutes after, I was out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a morning thing anyways for me. So I'm usually crashed out at that time of the day. So
yeah, I hear you. I ended up sick all week. I actually got COVID. I know.
Bummer.
And so today I am feeling just fine, but my both holidays were apparently pajama days with my, Grinch slippers on.
Oh, I'm sure it looked adorable though. That's for sure.
That's what my son said anyway.
See, he's a good kid. He knows. He's a
great
good kid.
Yeah. Brought me chicken soup and stuff like that. But I agree. I took some days off and did a lot of sleeping, and I feel like maybe that was the best thing to do. And I'm all ready to go. And I gotta say this, I watched the Seattle fireworks display with the Space Needle. That was great.
Yeah, we actually had a pretty good day for it. Yeah.
It was great. It was clear. And I don't know. I was watching it on my TV, so I don't know what kind of music people hear when they're there, but the music that they had was great. And I was like, yes, that's a good song too. Yes, that's a good one. You know how sometimes I don't like what they play. But,
so I've aired some of the broadcasts here at sister stations down the hall in previous years, and usually they sync it up with the same soundtrack that's sent out to the local affiliates and stuff like that. So whatever you heard there locally is probably the same thing you heard on the air as well. So.
Yeah. So it was fun. So anyway, Happy New Year, everybody. And I'm just so excited for this year and can't wait. And having everything in the middle of the week has been really weird. I today do not have an astrology report because I brought an astrologer. Woohoo! And I am so excited. It's a very, very special guest, a special day. And we also are going to open the lines for callers. So I'm going to announce that first, and then I bring Susan Miller in. So if you want to call in and you've got a question for Susan regarding astrology for 2025, and we'll find out from her what information she needs, you can call 1-888-298-5569 or 425-373-5527. I'll say it again, 1-888-298-5569, which actually is KKNW for those people that understand that there was an alphabet mixed in with numbers on the phone once upon a time. I think it's still there. 425-373-5527. My guest today is the amazing Susan Miller. I adore her. She's absolutely delightful. She's an internationally renowned astrologer, author, columnist, an entrepreneur with a social media following of over probably 900,000, 1 million people. She has 11 million annual unique visitors to her award-winning website, astrologyzone.com. She's known for her detailed, accurate predictions, her engaging style, and Susan has become, she's really an icon She really is. She's a trusted voice in astrology worldwide, and her work spans multiple domains from lifestyle and business to technology and culture. Susan is a monthly contributing editor for major international publications, including Vogue China, Vogue Japan, Amica Italy. She's appeared on prominent media platforms such as Good Morning America, The View, and CNN. And of course, the original Loretta Brown Show, haha. And she's authored 10 best-selling books, created the highly popular app Daily Horoscope Astrology Zone More. And her unique ability to explain complex astrological concepts with clarity. And believe me, that is an incredible gift. And warmth. She's delightful. You'll love her. She has made her a favorite among Hollywood celebrities, CEOs, and everyday readers. Her annual forecast, the year ahead, provides invaluable guidance for navigating the coming year's cosmic influences. Welcome to the show, Susan.
Whoa, that was some introduction.
Did you like it? I loved it.
Yes. On December 14th, I celebrated 29 years on the internet with my website, Astrology Zone. So next year it'll be 30 years. I should do something like a party. I'm just not sure how to go about doing that.
Yeah.
I need help. Anyone
yeah.
has ideas, please write to me at Susan Miller at astrologyzone.com.
Absolutely. Well, you know what's interesting, Susan, is that I started my business, Reiki Oasis, and the counseling and spiritual work that I do also 29 years ago. So
1995. That was the bursting of the internet. That's when Amazon started. That's when Match.com started. If you Google it, they'll tell you which site started that year.
Wow, how fascinating. Before we start bringing callers on, I'd love for you to tell people a little bit about yourself. You're very...
about me? I don't want to know about
me. Like three or four sentences and how you got to doing what you're doing.
It's an unusual reason. I was born with a birth defect, and it stumped all the doctors. They didn't have the equipment they have today. So in those days, if they couldn't figure out what's wrong with you, they would say you were making it up. And they said, you just don't want to go to school. And I would be in terrible pain. And it would happen suddenly without any warning. And I said, it's my left leg. It stems from the hip. I feel like something thick, like chocolate syrup, is just coming like a whole volume into my knee. And I'm in excruciating pain, and I can't move for 8 weeks until the swelling goes down. I can't move an inch in the bed. And the doctors didn't believe me, but my parents did. I mean, any child would get up and get their crayons or their doll or their books, and I didn't move. I was unable to do anything if my mom didn't give it to me. So she was an astrologer and quite a scholar. She did not do consultation. She kept reading, and she took an 8-year course before I was born in California. And we were always in New York. We still are. I still am. But she did a correspondence class with her sister with the very esteemed school. And she became really proficient. And she told me, eventually this will go away. She said something I'll never forget. She said, the good goes away, Susan, but the bad goes away too. This is temporary. You will be okay. Well, when I was 14, and she said, 14 will be a big year, and it was. I got an attack that didn't go away. They had to operate. I was in the hospital 11 months. I had many operations. To this day, I've had 40 blood transfusions. The chocolate syrup turned out to be blood that I was feeling. And what's thick? What is the thing that is closest to blood is chocolate syrup? I mean, as a child, I was right in the way I was expressing it, but they didn't believe me. But it is a rare condition, and they had to paralyze me from the knee down. So I had a drop foot when I woke up from the operation. I couldn't feel anything from the knee down. And my doctor said, you're so young, we will be able to regenerate that nerve through a lot of therapy. but let's first keep you alive. And I was very, very sick and needed multiple operations. And, you go on the parallel bars and it felt like you were walking across the room from New York to Arizona, and then you were back in surgery and you'd have to start all over again. When I was home, I said to my mom, I want to learn astrology. I want to know if this is going to have a happy ending. Am I ever going to walk? Am I going to look like everybody else? Will I get rid of the crutches and the big brace up to my hip? And she wouldn't teach me. She kept saying no. And I said, why are you saying no? She said, you'll read for your friends after a year and think you know what you're talking about. You're, I guess, a teenager. What do you know? I said, but no friends come over here. Do you see anybody? We live in a brownstone. I'm not exactly going to sneak out and go down 2 flights of stairs with my crutches by myself. And she just wouldn't do it. Well, I wrote to Horoscope magazine, asked the editor-in-chief, would I ever walk again? And they had a section where they did charts. And but I never heard from her. So one day my mother walks in the living room. I'm doing my homework. And I did homeschool all the way through this ordeal. For 3 years. I never attended high school, but that means I didn't get to meet any of the mean girls, so it was okay. And I went from junior high to college, but which is, traumatic, but I did it. But at that day, she said, did you write to Horoscope magazine? I said, yes, I did, but how do you know I did? She said, well, I think it must be you that's asking this question because this is your birthday, this is your time of birth. And this is your problem. So it has to be you because it's kind of rare. And I said, what did the lady say? She said, well, I didn't read it yet. I said, sit next to me. Let's read it together. And when you ask an astrologer any question, she has to be like a detective. Not only look at aspects for health, but look to see where she lives in a big city, access to good equipment, a distinguished doctor, good support from the family. You look at the whole chart and put the pieces together. And that's what that editor-in-chief did. And at the end, she said, we think you're going to walk again. So my mother said, wow, it sounds good. You got your answer. And I looked at her and smiled in a kind of mischievous way. And I said, now you have to teach me, because she used words I don't understand that are astrological. What does sextile mean? What does trine mean? I need to know these things. She said, but you got your answer. And then I just looked at her smiling, and she said, oh, no, you want to check the editor-in-chief. And I said, of course I do. She said, you're incorrigible. You're never going to stop asking. You're like a broken record. All right, I'll teach you, but you must study 12 years or you won't be any good. I said, I'll do everything you say, Mama. I love you. Of course I will. And I did. And I did. I write for magazines all over the world. And I write for Us Weekly now once a month. I do the celebrities of the sign. Like I just finished Capricorn, and that's going to press soon. So, she was right. Of course, mothers are always right. You have to go slowly. You have to be, with astrology, you can't look at one aspect. You have to look at the whole chart together. And it's hard because it's like juggling 8 oranges plus the sun and moon makes 10. And in the beginning, a lot of people say to me, and I agree, I did too, feel like you want to give up. It's just so complicated. But I love math, and you stick with it, and you build those synapses in your brain, and you're able to handle it, and I love it. It's like cracking the code on what the universe is trying to tell me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love your story so much. And we do have callers waiting in the wings. We'll bring somebody on in a minute.
Really?
Yeah.
Already? Wow.
Yeah, they were up early this morning. Got so excited. Before I bring people...
I should say a couple of things.
Yes.
The year is going to have a slow start. You say why? We have a slew of retrogrades. Now, the planets when retrograde that we feel the most are the ones closest to Earth, Mars, Mercury, and Venus. Those 3, when they go retrograde, we really feel it. And Mercury, of course, is constantly retrograde every 3 months. But Mars only goes retrograde every 2 years, and he's retrograding right now. Venus will go retrograde from March 1st to April 12th. Mars will finally come out of retrograde. It started December 6th. It ends February 23rd. And Mercury will go retrograde in March 2, which only complicates things. So we have a slow start to the year, but the universe is speaking clearly. Don't rush forward. Don't rush head first into anything. You know how when you finish a project, often you're asked to write a wrap-up report. You look at it, you say what went really well and what could use some improvement. That's what the universe is asking us to do. Look over the past year, year and a half, 2 years. What went right and what went wrong and why? And then once you come to May, you'll be able to go like a bullet train, full speed ahead. Now, there's another thing that's interesting. The year is cut in half like a loaf of Italian bread. The first half of the year still has Jupiter in Gemini, and this makes Gemini the golden child. This started last May 25th, 2024, and it's still continuing. That means Gemini, Libra, Aquarius are having a wonderful time. Also, the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, are included in that because air and fire gets along so well. Well, guess what? Come June 9th, which is almost half the year, then Jupiter, the giver of gifts and luck, goes into Cancer. And Cancer becomes the golden child. And then Pisces and Scorpio benefit also along with it because they're water signs too. And then you have to include the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So you see, this is a year where everybody has chocolate cookies, you know. There's something for everybody. So it's something to look forward to. And later, after I do some questions, I can go through all 12 signs and tell everybody the one thing that is probably going to stand out this year for them.
That'd be lovely. That'd be really great. Okay. Well, I feel like we're rolling our sleeves up. We're going to bring our first caller on. But for those people that are watching on YouTube, I want to show the front of your calendar if I can figure out how to get it on screen. Well, apparently I can't do it.
Beautiful calendar. I write every word.
Yeah, your calendar is so beautiful, the year ahead. And the artwork is just, I love your calendars.
I pay a fortune. He's famous French artist, and he used to do all the branding for Henry Bendel's, a beautiful store on Fifth Avenue, and that's where I got to know. He did the little skinny girls, and I called his agent, and I was so afraid to call her. And yes, he is expensive, but you know what? It's a luxury calendar like no other. It gives you predictions for, you know, what's going on that day, so you can pick the best day for anything you have in mind, the big interview, the first date, you know, a party you want to give your parents, a vacation. You can tell I write everything. And I remind you of the day on social media. You know, you just go to @Astrology Zone. I'm on X. I'm on Threads, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, Discord. I'm on almost all of them, but not on TikTok because I do see the problems with TikTok. I do. Right. So I'm not, I agree with our congressman. Yeah. So I'm not on TikTok, but I'm on everything else.
That sounds great. And people can get the calendar at astrologyzone.com or anywhere they find you.
Yes, it's the only place you can get it. Yeah, it's $26.99 printed on very heavy paper. And many people cut out the art after the calendar the year's over.
I was going to tell people this is a big calendar. It's very, very nice. And just go get it right now. And we're going to bring in our first caller. And Benny, if you could bring in.
Sure. We'll take, Rose from Snohomish. Hi, Rose. Welcome to the show.
Rose, what a beautiful name. I love your name. Hi. And when is your birthday?
Thank you. What is my birthday? It's March 11, 1958.
You're
and I was born at
Pisces.
2:08 a.m.
Well, because we have to take a lot of callers, I can't do an actual chart.
Yeah,
but what
that's
is
okay.
your question? I'm very familiar with what's going on with Pisces. And are you doing something to your home? Are you buying or renting, or are you doing something different? New furniture, renovations, something's going on. What's going on in your home?
Well, what's going on is I haven't put my house back on the market. I had it on the market, and we took it off because it hadn't sold. And then we were going to put it back on in just a couple of weeks from now.
No,
and then
wait a little
came
bit
in
longer.
And now they want to buy it. So we're trying to figure out what to do and if to stay around here or to go over the mountains. My husband's going to be retiring. So.
You know, Jupiter's retrograde. I think you'll get the best price after February 4th, but that's only a few weeks away. And you may already negotiate it and get the paperwork done in February, which is fine because, you know, it takes time to get the bank, to get all the people together. Selling a house is a big deal. But, you know, the tax people have to come in and sit at the table. It's you know, I've gone through it, not to sell, but to buy. So I know. Well, that's exciting. Have you found a new place to live yet?
No, we haven't. We're trying to figure out whether to stay around in the area or to move over east of the mountains. I didn't know if you could feel one way or the other, or.
Well, this is what I can tell you. The reason I asked you about your home is that for Pisces, it's the best time in 12 years to be moving, renovating, decorating, whatever you had on your list. This is the prime time for you to be gloriously happy with your choices. You will be so glad you did this. So I'm so
wonderful.
happy that, no, really, you're not going to want to leave home. That could be a problem.
I can't
your husband will kind of settle in and not. What sign is your husband?
He is a Sagittarius, and he's going to be retiring anytime in the next 2 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, his birthday's December 9th, 1953.
Well, he loves you with all his heart. He has Jupiter, the giver of gifts and luck, in the marriage house. So he's deferring to you for a lot of these decisions, as he should, because you're the lucky little leprechaun when it comes to the house. And luckily, Sagittarius is the travel sign. They need it like oxygen. So he will want to travel and see some of those places you've always dreamed about. You really have a great forecast. You have a lot to look forward to. So
I'm
just
a double
know that
Sag.
everything.
I'm Pisces with double Sag, I was told. I don't know.
Oh, that means you have Sagittarius rising, and that's why you fell in love with your husband. You're quite the philosopher. Let me tell you about your unusual chart. Pisces is very spiritual and religious, or spiritual in the other ways. And Sagittarius is interested in religion and different spirituality, but the dogma and the intellectual side of it, where Pisces is interested in the pure belief and faith. And you put the two together. So you're quite a philosopher. I could sit with you in one of those little coffee houses in New York with the tin ceilings and, having cappuccino with you until 4 a.m. talking about the meaning of life. Yeah,
I agree.
You go deep. You're not afraid to go deep. And I love you for that. Right.
Yeah.
You're going to be so happy you sold the house. And move into
I hope I am buying down. I'm not buying up. So it's a little bit different going into this step in our lives.
Are your children, do you have kids?
I have 3 daughters and 7 grandkids. Yeah, they're all grown.
So they all moved out. So you don't need the house that was so big that you had left.
No, I don't. I'm just trying to decide whether to be here or east of the mountains. My kids are here, 2 of them, but they go over there a lot, so they told us to do what we need to do. So
it sounds like you do want to go over the mountain. Am I right? I'm guessing by the way you're talking, you know. Well, you know what? You go over there. You know what Barbara Corcoran says on TV? She says, go to the town you want to live in, you know, that you're kind of curious about. Go to the local coffee shop, sit at the counter and start talking to people there and ask questions, you know, like, what do you think of our representative here, you know, in Congress? Or has there ever been a flood here?
We've spent a lot of time in that area, a lot.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like you're ready for a fresh place. But, you know, take a look. You have a little time, but you only have until June 9th to make this decision and actually move, because Jupiter will leave on June 9th. So just know that. But once he leaves, he goes into your house of love, romance, fun with children. Wow. So you're coming into a really nice phase. So first you have to feather your nest and get it done by June 9th. And then the fun starts. Yeah, I think you've got it. You know, March has a very unusual buildup of planets in Pisces. You're going to have a lot of control in March. And your husband's going to be happy to let you make a lot of the design decisions and so forth, which women are usually good at, you know. So
yeah.
I think you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to throw things out. Listen, I just had a flood.
I have been. That's why you're seeing that. I've been throwing stuff out and selling stuff.
It's hard, though. I have a French secretary who said, Suzanne, I will sit with you. To go or leave, to go or leave. She would hold up different items. My head was splitting
I love
open.
it. I love it.
Now we do another box. You know, I said, another box. She said, the movers are coming. You must. Because I moved too recently, just temporarily. I will move back after the apartment is fixed. But,
so we've got several other callers.
Okay, well, I've got to go then. Oh, I'm sorry, but good luck to you. And
thank you so much, and Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. And keep reading my Astrology Zone, because I will be talking about your home. Just keep an eye on it. Okay? .com.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much, Rose. And so when people call in, you'll just need their birth date. Yeah?
Yes, just their day and month and day. Yes. And their name and maybe what city they live in. It might be fun to know.
Oh, that might be fun too. Okay, let's take another caller, shall we?
Sure. We'll take now Jessica, who's calling in from the Maple Valley area in Washington. Hi, Jessica.
Hi there. Hi so much. Thank you for taking my call. This is Jessica, and I'm calling from Maple Valley. My birth date is December 29th, 66.
Oh, wow. You're born right on the new moon this year. What is your question? You know what that means? When your birthday coincides with a new moon, it doesn't happen very often, maybe every 30 years or something. It means all fresh beginnings, new starts. You know, new goals, new paths to take, new directions. No, it's pretty exciting, and it's a good new moon. This one is very sweet. So we just had it. So you know, happy birthday! And tell me what your question is.
Well,
What's your question?
I'm really concerned about my career.
Now, you're born December 29th, so you're a Capricorn, and you know that Pluto wrote, I should say Plato, not Pluto. Plato, the Greek philosopher, wrote that Capricorn was the philosopher king who took good care of the people in their employ. So that means you are a great boss that usually ascends to great heights. What industry are you in? What kind of work do you do?
I work for the government.
Right? Perfect. The little goat usually likes to work for big multinational companies or government because they always know what the next rung on the ladder is, and they can, you know, aim for it. Why would you be afraid right now of your job? What is worrying you?
I'm just not motivated or enthused about it at all. I haven't been for a very long time.
That's your thermostat. That's your thermostat. We all have an internal thermostat telling us, need change, need to open the window. You need to look for a job, a new job. And with your experience with government, people are going to want you. Private companies are going to want you so badly because you understand how it works. And you probably do well with math. Do you get involved with math in your job?
I do work a lot with numbers, yes.
Do you know how rare you are? We all walk around thinking that our talents are commonplace when they're not commonplace at all. You have something very special to give. And I would think you should go into the private sector now and use all that beautiful government experience. And you've given, so much. And now the new administration is talking about cutting budgets. So it's a smart thing to do to kind of get out. Now, I have to tell you, your career sector is ruled by Venus. It's just the way it is for Capricorn, always, forever. And when Venus goes retrograde, it will be hard to find a job. That's March 1st to April 12th. That is the time when things go wrong. So you don't want to be interviewing then, but you can do it. Start now. Or if you don't like anything you're seeing and it's getting close to March, just wait until the end of, second half of April when everything gets better by the end of April and May, the flowers come out again. So, in life, so to speak, as a metaphor, you're going to be fine. I'm not worried about you. Capricorn works so hard. Oh my gosh. Let me write the recommendation letter for you. I would always want a Capricorn on my team. I'll tell you that.
I'm laughing because you say I'm working so hard, but I really am. I have not been motivated. I've been.
Well, that's because you're bored. You're just bored. That's because you have more to give, and you don't have the room. You're kind of in a little box. Your elbows are bumping up against the sides. You need something, a different setting, a new arena, and you're going to love it. So, cool. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something else. I like older people on my staff. They're not distracted by social media. They're not crying at their desk because their boyfriend just broke up with them. I'm telling you, people who have a little bit more experience, I am signing up for them, and my secretary's children are grown, and she is a godsend to me. And I have 17 people reporting to me, but I like older people, and I'm not the only one. I talk to other business owners, and they say, "Oh my gosh, they show up. They don't ask when the next vacation day is." They don't say, "I'd rather go and have my nails done today." I heard that on Good Morning America. The new generation says, "I don't like to work on Mondays. I'd rather have my nails done." Who says that to their boss? I am horrified. So you go out there and, grab life with both hands because you're going to do great. So I would say
thank you
working right away.
Yeah.
And talk
thank
to
you so much.
Too. Yeah, talk to friends because they might be able to steer you in the right direction.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. For those people just tuning in, my guest today is the amazing Susan Miller, internationally renowned astrologer, author, columnist, entrepreneur, and the woman I adore. That's all I have to say. So let's take another caller. You doing good, Susan?
Oh, I love your listeners.
I have great listeners. They're really, really good. Okay, let's take another caller, Mr. Benny.
Sounds good. We'll keep them coming. And we have now Marie calling in from the Seattle area. Hi, Marie. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Marie. Hi.
How are you?
Good. When's your birthday?
June 9th.
Oh, little Gemini. You're the golden girl.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Yeah, my question is, Uranus is moving into June, I think.
Gemini.
How's that going to affect me. I have 3 planets in Gemini.
Oh, wow. It brings surprise.
Yep.
It brings innovation, creativity. And, when Uranus goes over the sun, which won't happen for a few years because Uranus stays in Gemini 7 years. So that's going to take a little time. It's probably going to take about 4 years. But you might surprise your family. When my daughter had that, she's an Aries, she announced, I'm going to have a baby. I'm going to go through IVF, but first I'm going to quit smoking and I'm only going to drink tea. I said, why are you giving up coffee? Well, because I want a cigarette when I drink coffee. So I'm giving up coffee too. I'm like, whoa. And she did everything she said. And it took her about 3 years to be ready. And she has a little baby boy now. And that was a surprise. Of course, Mama Beth's helping her. She didn't want to go through life without children. And she didn't, have a boyfriend that she wanted to marry. She didn't have any boyfriend at the time. She had just broken up. I think you will surprise people with the whole new direction you'll be taking. By the way, if you have a lot of planets in Gemini, you're really good at writing or editing. I would like you to be in communication. Are you in that industry by any chance?
In previous jobs, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in demand, and you have the kind of job where you don't even have to work for other people. You just put out your shingle and say, I'm an editor or I'm a writer, and just get started. Yeah. I mean, you'll always work because for some reason, and there was a whole story on television about this, kids coming out of college are not necessarily good writers. And they don't know what to do about that. And then they're relying on AI, which is going to make them worse because they're using a crutch. I'm a little concerned about that because people have to learn how to write before they use AI. And if you have that talent, I'm telling you, you're going to be in demand. And I know you have it. You can work in social media, in PR, in marketing, in sales, anything that involves communication. You excel. So you're just going to change direction a lot, and it will come from within you as Uranus goes over your sun. A lot, and the other planets, a lot depends on how those planets are aspected in your chart, whether they're fighting with other planets or they're friendly with other planets. But not to worry about it. It will be a real refreshing kind of thing where you'll feel independent and strong and confident and innovative. And anything that's not working, you're just going to say, okay, this is it. I'm breaking with that. Smashing that egg. It's over. And I'm going to innovate. And it's a very nice influence. So I think you'll like it.
Great, thank you.
So lots of surprise because you get bored easy as a Gemini. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we do.
Intellectual stimulation.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, Marie. Thank you. And Benny, let's take another caller, and then I'm going to have Susan talk about the year a little bit more.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll take now Debbie, who's calling in from Mukilteo area, which is just north of Seattle. So hi, Debbie.
Hi. 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 When is your birthday, Debbie?
It is November. I'm getting an echo here. Just a minute.
I'll turn it down.
Better? No.
Yeah.
My birthday is November 29th, 52.
Mm-hmm. You're a Sagittarius. Have you had trouble with water in your house? Any flooding or leakage or anything like that?
Not that I'm aware
of. Over the past two years, no? Well, good, but just keep vigilant. Or snow on the roof or anything with water-related, tainted water, anything like that. You need to have a rider in your insurance policy, and they don't want to give it to you involving water. You have to beg your insurance company. They will never tell you the water damage isn't covered, and you have to ask for it.
I'm surrounded by water.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I live on the bluff
Then.
yeah, I
There's
live
no
on the
storm
bluff
then.
above
Yeah,
Puget
I love
Sound,
being near
and we have
water.
a
I'm in
pool.
Manhattan. I'm near it too.
And we-
Yeah. Well, what's your question?
It's more health related, and also, am I going to get beyond the
Get beyond what? You went in and out a little
getting
bit.
to the gym?
I'm
Say
sorry,
that-
Loretta.
Yeah, Debbie, could you please say that again? You cut out just as you were saying, will I get beyond?
I'm getting feedback on my phone.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're not hearing it on this end, though. Just tell us what the question is again.
Yes, it's about what focus for health should I be doing for this year, and am I going to get beyond my procrastination of getting to the gym and doing things?
Well, you know that Sagittarius is the one sign that is so strong. We have more Olympians who are Sagittarian than any other sign. You're born strong. You have strong muscles. Now, you might want to take up a sport. You might want to learn something new if you think you'll get bored at the gym. But I think with a good pair of earphones, you'll like being at the gym. I would do the elliptical if I were you, and be kind to your knees rather than the treadmill, because I've been told by experts that it's much gentler on the body. And treat yourself to a package of training sessions. If you have a good rapport with your trainer, you'll enjoy it so much more. A good trainer will keep shaking it up and making it different every time you come and actually make it fun. But think about sports, too. Sagittarius is known to have strong legs, especially thighs. So something like fencing might be interesting, or swimming, or anything that uses the legs. Tennis is a good sport, too. But your health in general should be good because you don't have bad aspects. Well, you're born early. What's the exact date of your birthday? December, or is it November?
It's November 29th, 52.
That's right, November 29th. You had more problems with health in 2023 from March to the end of the year than you would now. You are over whatever happened then. And it could have had something to do with bones, or maybe you had to start taking calcium. You have to talk to your doctor and see if you need to do that. But any kind of weight training helps the bones. It actually builds them up. So I think you're going to be fine. You're going to be good because, you're going to be busy. And are you married now? Because your husband's going to be doing really well this year in the first half. Are you married?
Yes, I'm married.
He's going to do very well by your chart. And you're going to have more money and more options. You'll probably take a trip, and you'll be walking everywhere if you take a trip overseas. So you have a lot of fun in store.
Yes,
right.
I'm hoping to get overseas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And either way, Europe or Asia, either one would be fun for you. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Debbie.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Susan, my goodness, I just thank you for taking all those callers, and you're such a fountain of wisdom. We are down to not a whole lot of time left. We got maybe 10 minutes or so, not quite.
I can do that. So. I can do a lot in 10 minutes.
Okay, if you could just share with us, and maybe 8 minutes.
Times really quick.
8 minutes.
If you want to buy a house, you have to wait until after June 9th, and you'll have a whole 12 months to find the house and get the mortgage and everything. It's the best time in 12 years. Taurus, you're making money hand over fist right now. Time to ask for a raise at the end of May. You should be doing very well. If you have a savings plan or an investment plan, you're very pleased with the way things are going. You'll be able to travel or even buy a car in the second half after June 9th. Gemini, you're just magic right now. You're going to be planting seeds until June 9th. After June 9th, those seeds start coming up in your garden, and you're able to really do well. So, financially. Cancer, you have to have your wish list ready, and you have to, go, with that wish list and not defer from it. You have to know what you want. And, if you don't know what you want, the universe can't give it to you. Leo, you made some smart decisions last year about your career, but Leo's kept saying, what about love? What about love? Well, now it comes. You're going to have quite a social life in the first 5 months of the year. After that, you're going to go into hiding because you just say, I'm tired of all this socializing. But it's going to be really, really busy, so get your wardrobe ready. You're going to be invited to lots of things until June 9th. Then you go into a kind of slower, quieter phase where you get your wish list ready because you enter your best year of your life next year on July 30th, 2026, lasting 12 months. Then we have Virgo. Virgo is knocking that ball right out of the park. They are doing so well with career. Virgo, I don't want you to think about socializing right now. That comes in the second half of the year. After June 9th, I want you to join a club, or it could be a book club, it could be a professional club, it could be a social club, any kind of club. I want you to expand your friendships in the second half of the year. But until then, you are heading up the ladder of success. And I'm really happy to say that because you're such a modest person. You tend not to shout your victories, but now the world has come to you and realized what a value you are. The Libras need to travel. Spin your compass. You have a chance to go very far. So where is it? Rome, Tokyo, Singapore, wherever it is, I want you to really take a look on the internet, get a package, because it will be life-changing. Why do I say go before June 9th? Because after June 9th, your career lights up on fire, and you're on a rocket ship to the moon. You won't be able to take any vacation. You'll be too busy, and you'll be written up in the press. It's great. So you have a lot to look forward to. Scorpio, you've given so much to your career. It's time to think about your home life and your romantic life. March will be particularly romantic. Right now, you're making a lot of money. The money is coming in through the back door. It could be an insurance payout. It could be a court case in your favor. It could be a prize that you win because you wrote a contest. You won a contest. I don't know what it is, but a chunk of money is coming to you. And then you'll have the money to travel in the second half of the year. And, and I know that you'll want to invest most of it, but take some of it to enjoy life, because the trend for Scorpio is to have a richer emotional life. And if you're a new parent or a new grandparent, I know taking care of those little ones can be exhausting, but you're getting better at it and more used to running around. And by next year, it will seem like a breeze. Maybe the child reaches 4 and it's so much easier. Sagittarius, you and Taylor Swift have the best marriage aspects on the planet. Let's see if she takes advantage of it. She's walking around with a great big diamond. Nobody knows why. She didn't get it for her birthday. She got it in November. Who gets a present in November of that stature? But we all get it at Christmas or New Year's Eve or Valentine's Day or her birthday, December 13th. Who knew? But anyway, well, let's see what happens there. But if you're already married, your husband does really, really well. You're coming into money in the second half of the year, quite a bit of money, which will give you options. You get to decide how you want to appropriate that money. You're gonna love doing it. Capricorn, you're working like a little beaver. And like we had that one lady, she said, oh, I don't like my job anymore. I'm bored. Sure, she knows every crack in the sidewalk. Now it's time for something new. But if you're self-employed, you'll be able to hire people, which is really hard when you're in a small business. Usually you can't afford the person you want. You're the exception to the rule. You can get a gem of a person working with you, under you, reporting to you, and associations that you build up with other people, alliances, are going to be fabulous in the second half of the year, like an agent or a headhunter or a job broker, any kind of person that works one-on-one, even a doctor or accountant, lawyer. They're good for you. Someone who works with you on a confidential basis. Aquarius, you have been living in a situation where the home has been your focus. You have been living with banging and clanging and workmen running in and out, or you're walking around with paint chips. All that is coming to a conclusion. Finally, you'll be able to enjoy your house. And now you're enjoying love and romance and time with children who make you giggle, and your creativity is blossoming. If you've ever wanted to learn how to write or take a creative writing class or a poetry class or learn how to paint, look at President Bush learned how to paint in his senior years, and he's good, so you may have a talent that comes out, but only after you take that special course. Finally, Pisces, I want you to work on your house all the way to June 9th, whether you're selling, buying, renting, whatever you're doing, renovating, doing repairs, redecorating, or just adding one great piece of furniture that changes everything in your living room. I want you to think about that. You've got great family support. They love your ideas. Second half is all about fun and love. It's time to enjoy romance. You've given a lot to the world. You need a little softness and affection, and you're getting it. So that's it.
Wow. I am so impressed. You absolutely did it. Susan Miller, you are stunning in every way. And I want to remind people, please go to astrologyzone.com and get Susan's calendar, the year ahead, 2025. You will be so glad you did it. And tune into everything she does. Really just do it. I think you have an app also, don't you, Susan?
I have two apps on Apple App Store and Google Play Store. And if you just put in Susan Miller, both should come up. One is called Astrology Zone Horoscope, the best app on the market for daily horoscopes. There's 72 words long each sign. You can read for your mom, your sister, your brother, your best friend. You don't have to just read your own. And you should read for your rising sign. On my own website, you can put in your chart, find out what time you're born, take a look at your handwritten birth certificate. You'll find that out. And I have Moonlight Phases, which tells you when to act and when to hold back. And that one's only $8. And it's good through the year 2050.
All right.
Both apps have GPS built in.
Well, so thank you so much, Susan Miller. To everybody, Happy New Year. And what, Betty, what are we saying? That live in 25?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, sure,
like
that works. Yeah, be alive, stay alive in 2025.
Stay alive. Okay, lots of love. Big hugs and kisses, Susan Miller, and everybody out there. Have a great week.